My name is Theresa Malsen. In the healthcare provider community, my name is Tess, or I go by Tess, excuse me. My husband and I moved up here in 1997 from Jacksonville, Florida. I had a 15-year background in Blue Cross Blue Shield of Florida, health insurance experience, and I acquired a job at Athens Area Health Plan Select, which is owned by Athens Regional. And with that, you have to learn your provider community. With that, you also have to acquire knowledge of each one of those doctors that you're dealing with. You can't make recommendations, but you can always say, this is the doctors that are underneath your plan, which is helpful. And at that point in time, AOC was just beginning, and they were multi-specialist surgeons at that point. They eventually went to be a single anatomical surgeon specialty, and that changed the whole dynamics of what AOC was. Okay, it let those doctors, those surgeons, concentrate on just one anatomical spot, which helped them acquire a broader sense of what they were doing for the patient. Okay. I've also had the opportunity of having the experience with Dr. Julian Price. I got to know him first in 2012. I started losing the feeling in this finger, and it eventually went to a point where I could not feel any heat in my finger, and these two fingers were going. And he knew that it was a neck issue. So he went in and repaired C5 and 6 and 6 and 7. I got all three fingers back. And I also am hypersensitive to heat now, thank God, because that really would have made me a disabled person, and that's not where I wanted to be. 6 months later, my lower back started giving me a bad time, and my spinal cord had shifted, and I went back to see him. He wanted to repair L5S1, and at that point I was not ready to do it. So he told me exactly what to expect, and in July of 2015, he repaired L5S1, and now I have a stable spinal cord. Thank God. I've also had the opportunity of working with Dr. Who in pain management. Also Drew, I think he is Dr. Johnson's PA for my shoulder. My husband has seen Dr. Katz. The one thing I also recognize about this area is the fact that Athens is the healthcare hub for the surrounding communities. And that's one thing that is very necessary with these rural areas, is to have a hub where you can concentrate your health care. And AOC has opened up that door to encompass everything that they need. Pain management, they've got the physical therapy, they've got the surgeons, they've got a criteria that is conservative, but yet it treats that patient in the way they should be treated. I would highly recommend AOC. It's just one of those things that when me being in the provider community now, when I see we're getting a patient from a AOC provider, I know that they've been handled the way they need to be handled. And that makes it easier to handle that patient in concurrent care. And that's another thing that you have to take into consideration when you're in that provider community, as well as being the patient or the customer.